What is going on, guys? It's been a little while. I've been posting some videos, but it's been a little bit since I've sat and actually talked. I know, the videos I posted the last 4 or 5 or 6. I don't even know how many that's been. There's been some good fish catches in there, but I haven't done a really good job of talking to the camera. And any day that a lot of those videos were either the Roland's video where we were in a tournament situation, or maybe I just had a couple of hours to get out and fish before or after a trip. And I just really wanted to fish as opposed to really explaining what I was doing. Or some of them were actual, guide trips where I just had the GoPro running. I want to get out there and do some like full video days. You know what I mean? Like talk you through my day like I do typically. I just haven't had time. And I actually planned on doing that today, but I don't know if any of you that follow me on social media saw I had a little boo boo with my boat. Ended up striking a underwater obstruction, a fish attractor that's been there for years, and was running out the other morning and just I veered a little bit too far left when I should have been veering right, and smacked that. But we're going to get that all fixed up. I'm actually leaving in the morning for 2 days, heading over to Stewart. Just got a little family weekend over there. Possibly tomorrow night might be chasing one of these things, but we'll see. It's going to be a nice little getaway weekend for a day or so, and then be coming back, fixing the boat, and we will be right back out on Okeechobee. But I just came out here to throw my clothes in a duffel bag to be ready for the morning, and said, let me hop on here real quick and kind of just catch you guys up to speed and just give you a quick fishing report. I know I always say my videos are going to be quick, but I probably, I mean it this time. I'm ready to go to bed, as you can tell. But I haven't even checked the lake level as of today. But we're just going to go ahead and say it's at 11 and a half feet. It might even be below that. It might be 11.48. Um, how fast this lake is dropping is crazy. I mean, it's dumping, and they don't even have the floodgates really pumping. I think the water is evaporating very quick due to the heat, and they are obviously moving some water. I fished one of the spillways leading off of the lake today. Actually caught some really nice some bass. I was trying to catch some snook. Did catch some good snook. Caught a giant channel catfish, like a 17, 18-pound channel cat on a swim bait. Caught some tarpon. But the water, like I said, it really wasn't flowing as hard as it typically does when they're releasing water. So I think a lot of it's, evaporation. But either way, however it's getting out of the lake, it is dropping like a stone. So that's kind of the purpose of this video, not only with a fishing report, but just to really let you guys know to be careful out there. Really take your time running in the lake. If you're unfamiliar with the lake, I mean, use extreme caution right now. There are some underwater obstructions. Excuse me. The one that I hit was the one, if you were running out of Clewiston Channel and you hook a left, to run out, basically out in front of Westwall to run north up the lake. I don't know. I'm going to say a quarter mile. Between the mouth of the cut and the what I call the west wall point where the Kissimmee grass pokes out, there's a big cement concrete fish attractor right there. And why they chose to put it right there, I don't know, but it's been there for years. And I just was not really paying attention and ended up hitting the thing. And there's another one out in front of Coop Bay / East Wall as well. There used to be buoys on them, but over time the buoys just rip off due to storms and things like that. So there's many of other things, and one thing to talk about too is gators or manatees. When me and Breezy were coming in the other day, I was running a trail. I saw the gator pop his head up 500-600 yards in front of me, saw him go down, ran my jack plate and my trim up, but I still ended up touching the thing. I didn't smoke them, but I touched them just because they don't have that much water to lay down on the bottom. There's not that much water covering them anymore. So be careful running the lake. Definitely be careful, coming off a plane. And, I just mentioned running that cut out of Clewiston Channel. I honestly, that was 3 days ago. I would not run it now. 2 days ago. I wouldn't run it now. That's how fast it's dropping. 1150 is kind of the cutoff to run that safely. And I without even checking, I'm sure we're there today. But just be careful. But I want to make one thing clear. I have so many people like, you were saying you need the lake low, now it's low, and now you're complaining. I am in no way, shape, or form complaining at all. I want to make that as clear as possible. I want this lake 3 feet lower than it is now. And if that really means that I can't use it for my livelihood for a little while, I hate to say it, but so be it. I'll figure something out. The lake needs this. It needs it more than we could ever think of. And we've got a really, really good opportunity to bring some grass back in this lake. So drop her. Let her keep dropping. So be careful out there. With that being said, excuse me, I keep coughing. The fishing has been, it's been great. It really has. And I haven't even really been like exploring. I haven't had time to really like go explore the lake or like go find some new fish. And at the same time, you don't really have to. I mean, you could catch 25 pounds kind of anywhere on Okeechobee right now. Anywhere that's fishable, anywhere you can float your boat, and anywhere that the water really isn't muddy, you legitimately can crush them because they're all just condensed into these little stretches. They have nowhere to hide, essentially. So people are catching them up north. People are crushing them in the canals still, in the river, down. I mean, they're just kind of biting everywhere. The biggest things I could tell you is we're getting into that. You guys hear me talk about it all the time, that bait isn't a big factor in the winter months. But this time of year, this is right where bait starts to be a big player. If you are not around bait right now, you're pretty much wasting your time. If you're not hearing those bluegills kissing and eating those bugs in the Kissimmee grass or off the reeds, if you're not seeing signs of bluegill beds, right? We're off the moon right now. We're going to be coming up on a new moon, which is probably going to push another wave of bluegill up. But either way, if you don't see the remnants of old bluegill beds around the area, you're not hearing them, that's when to move. Put the troll on 100 right now. These fish they're feeding, right? It's April, right? We're going into May. These fish they have the feed bag on. They're acting pretty dumb right now, which is why this is my favorite time to fish. Don't be afraid to move around fast. When you get a bite, then slow down. But look for the signs, and if you find all the ingredients, they're there. That's just how it's been. I've been fishing some areas the last 2 weeks that I haven't caught a bass in 3 or 4 years. But the lake's low, and they're getting in them. When the full moon was here and these brim, the first wave of bluegill did really pull up, you could not get shallow enough. I mean, my boat, there were many instances you guys might have saw on social media where I had to jump out of my boat to go land someone's fish because it was wrapped up and my boat wouldn't float. I couldn't get to them. That's how shallow these fish were. And I'm talking fish over 6-7 pounds. I mean, biggins. If they can cover their backs, they're in it. In some cases, we were catching them where their tails were literally they were tailing like redfish. And it's been like that for the last couple of months. Even with the hot water, don't let that spook you. They're up there because the bait is there, with the bluegill being up there shallow. So they're going to be there. With the moon, we're pulling off the moon now, so these brim have kind of pulled off the bed and the fat bass are following them. And on top of that, they're kind of running out of water. So at least in my situation right now, I'm pretty much fishing on the outside edge. If any of the areas I'm fishing, I'm as close to the main lake as I can be. Even in the rough water, they really haven't cared. And even if the water is a little bit muddy, don't let that bother you, because if you can see down 8 inches, it's only another 4 inches to the bottom. So 6-inch visibility or whatever is still good. And, for me, I've been focusing on post-spawn brim eaters. So it's been flipping a big jig, throwing a swim jig, and throwing a frog. That's it. That's literally all we've been doing over the last couple of weeks. If you get in the right situation, closer to the full moon, I was doing better on the frog, but they definitely are still eating it. But just making long casts. The good thing about the frog is you could pull down and you can make bomb casts. Especially some of the situations we're running into, the water is very clear, like fish tank clear. I think you're at an advantage throwing that frog because it's a top water bait. They're not getting a good look at it. They got to look up at it. They're not getting, they can't study the bait as well. So the frog's been working for me there very well. If I get into a little bit dirtier water, just a little bit stained, that black and blue dirty jigs, no jack swim jig has been a killer. Mixing it up on trailers. Bruiser Crazy Craw, Gambler Little Easy, Gambler Big Easy on the back. That little 4-inch NLBN K-tail has been getting smoked in some of the sparser grass. Kind of trying to work with them on coming out with like a black and blue, black and purple color for a swim jig because it's been phenomenal. So definitely check those out. But just mixing up the trailers. But swim jig's been a big player. You can cover a lot of water, comes through everything, and your landing ratio is, about as good as it can get in that grass. We're getting to the point where you're going to start seeing some schoolers on the outside feeding on shad. I just haven't found them. I'm sure they're doing it a bunch of places. Been catching some schoolers, but little guys. But you could literally, if you find fishable water, put a 1/2 ounce trap on and go out in the open. As long as you're around good bottom and around maybe on the outside of some productive areas that are in the back that are now dry. I don't know why I'm losing my voice. You can catch them on a trap. You can catch them doing that. So that and flipping. Take your time. Be as quiet as you can on the trolling motor. I don't think it really matters, but it doesn't hurt. And just make decent, pitches to these reeds. A lot of these fish that we're catching flipping are eating it, just letting it sit in there. Getting a lot of bites as soon as the Mega Daddy claws touch the water on that jig. They got it. But then there's a lot of other ones that I'm just counting to 10, letting that thing soak in there, and they'll just pick it up. So it's been about it. The fishing's phenomenal. It's probably going to get even better. We're on the new moon, and then we're going to be on the upswing going to the next full moon. It's just, are we going to be in the grass? The water's dropping so fast that I don't know. I mean, legitimately, like the outside edge of the shoal is shin deep, knee deep, something like that in a lot of areas. So don't be scared of the shallow water. It's probably my biggest tip to you. I was catching a lot of fish a couple weeks ago in areas people were just like, man, they're not in there. Meanwhile, that last video I put up, me and my buddy Alex out there, we had that 30-pound day. And on the way to that spot, I passed 4 boats that told me, don't bother going back there. It's too shallow. Literally 4. And just on the troll going in there that morning. I've been getting out of my boat a lot to push, getting stuck. That was all the name of the game around the full moon. As shallow as I can get, standing up on my console on my boat, balancing, trying to see back there if I could see the glow of bluegill beds. Making bomb casts with that frog. Catching a lot on a Big Easy as well. Again, clear water, shallow. Don't want them to get a good look at it. Buzzing that Big Easy. You guys saw that's what Alex was throwing. He was crushing them with that. So look for bluegill. Listen for bluegill. Look for bait. Just fish. Don't be afraid to fish fast. If you get a good bite, then slow down. My buddy DJ ran a trip the other day. It was super slow. Got a bite, pulled down, caught 27 pounds. Actually, my trip 2 days ago was fairly slow. And then ended up, catching a 5, a 6, a 7, like right there in one little wolf pack off of one clump of grass. Frog, cut all 3 fish. One came on a frog, one came on a swim jig, and one came pitching. So mix those things up. For me, I'm imitating brim, not finding any shad fish yet, but I'm sure they're there. And but the lake's fishing great. Just be careful out there. And if you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to text me. But just take your time. Biggest thing I can give you. We got that Bass Busters tournament tomorrow. I am not going to be fishing it. Like I said, I'm leaving for Stewart. But if I had to take a guess, 28.5 pounds will win it. And there'll be a lot of 24 to 26 pound bags. maybe a 30. It could definitely be a 30-30 caught, but we'll say 28.5. That's my guess. We'll see. We'll see what wins. But appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you guys clicking on the videos, all the positive feedback. Sorry, my voice is annoying tonight. I don't know what's going on. But I'm going to lock up and I'm going to go to bed. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Wish me luck and Stuart that I catch a big snook. I'll post pictures if I catch one. If you guys don't already, follow me on social media at Tight Splice Charters. And just a little heads up, we do have some merch coming, so be on the lookout for that. Appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.